Welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host, Owen James, channel that brings you your latest Rangers news. Guys, managerial hunt time. Steven Gerrard, all bets are off, apparently. The bookies have suspended betting on Gerrard returning as Rangers manager. As my logo flies across the screen. Yep. So what do we know? Why has he been suspended? Well, look, Jim White of TalkSport has declared that Gerrard is going to be the new manager. Most of the guys who appear to be in the know are suggesting that Gerrard is going to be the new manager. There is, however, one major stumbling block to Gerrard taking over at Rangers again, and we'll get to that very, very shortly. Stories now in the media are indicating that Gerrard has already picked his assistants. No, it is not Michael Beale, and no, it is not Miguel Bilio, before anyone suggests that Michael Beale may change his name to try and sneak back in through the door. According to reports in a number of media sources down here in England, Gerrard has chosen Stephen Davis, former Rangers player and Rangers legend, Hall of Famer, and former England captain and Liverpool captain and England player Jordan Henderson as his assistants. Interesting appointments. I mean, look, in terms of those two situations, now obviously Stephen Davis has managed Rangers before on that interim basis after Michael Beale departed the club. And I think, bringing Davis back in as a coach would certainly be a move that would be welcomed by a lot of Rangers fans. There's always been this strong desire, hasn't there, within the fan base to have this Rangers man, something that personally I just don't think there's a need for unless that person is the best person for the job. A lot of people have indicated that that's why Barry Ferguson should be the manager, just because he's a Rangers man and he's staunch. Personally don't think Barry Bassett should be the manager. He's not up to the job. But look, Steven Gerrard, in terms of this, seems to have really indicated that there is a strong desire to return, that he does want to have another crack at being Rangers manager. Certainly the appointments of Davis and Henderson would be, I think, very, very good appointments. Henderson is an exceptionally experienced player. He is a player who has played at the highest level, has won Champions Leagues, has won league titles in England, has won FA Cups in England, and certainly as a player has an excellent track record. Obviously has not coached. Obviously, I think coming towards the end of his career now. Has played for Liverpool, Sunderland, Ajax, and El Ettifaq. Signed with Gerrard out there. Obviously, then came back to Europe to play for Ajax. So again, is coming from having a wide and varied experience of terms of where he's played. Like I said, he started his career with his hometown club Sunderland before moving to Liverpool. Then from Liverpool, obviously to El Ettifaq, and from El Ettifaq to Ajax. Stephen Davis, look, we all know what Stephen Davis is, who Stephen Davis is. This guy is a Rangers legend. He's a man who gets it. He's a man who will certainly put across to any players who are brought in and signed exactly what it is to be a Rangers man, to what it is to play for the club, what you need to play for the club. And I think if this report is true, it's a very, very smart move by Gerrard to bring, obviously, someone like Stephen Davis on board. Now, there is, however, a major stumbling block, according to the media. Now, how true this is, I don't know. Look, I think it could be just, media being the media. But according to reports down here, the Liverpool legend Steven Gerrard, who, like I said, who has had all betting, has been suspended. Now, this has come on top of the fact that Russell Martin, who is another candidate for the Rangers job, apparently is going to be the new Leicester City manager. Leicester, who are back in the Championship, see Martin as a great manager to come in and get them straight back up to the Premier League. And obviously, given the fact they have some very talented players, be able to play with Martin's style. So it looks like Russell Martin is well and truly off the list. Ancelotti, obviously, like I said, he appears to be off the list because of the fact that he will remain with Real Madrid for the World Club Championship and obviously go to spend some time with his dad in Brazil before obviously being ready to take on a club job, something that Rangers don't want. They want obviously a manager to come in sooner rather than later and hit the ground running. Now, there have been reports that Greta Steinson, Kevin Thelwell have spoken to Gerrard already and are obviously looking for him to bring it to become the new manager, hence obviously the agreement over the assistants that he wants to bring with him. The major stumbling block, however, is over because of his wife Alex. Now, it is reported that Alex doesn't want to return to the UK and is quite happy living out in Bahrain, apparently in a huge mansion in the Middle East in the United Arab Emirates. She doesn't want to come back to England, or Scotland or whoever, back to the UK full stop. I mean, look, you can kind of understand that this country is a bit of a shithole, isn't it? It is going down the drain very, very quickly under the present government. So Look, there is that kind of thing. And I think also there's the issue there over tax, that Gerrard will have to pay a substantial amount of tax if he comes back to the UK. I think, this is obviously something that the club will seek to get round, and Gerrard obviously and the club will apparently talk to his missus, to Alex, about the future. Now, I think, this is a thing that comes up often, isn't it? Players' wives, managers' wives not wanting to move to certain places. But I think at the end of the day, if you look at Gerrard's career, if you look at what Gerrard has done in his career, Alex, his wife, has always basically followed him wherever he's gone, and has been a big supporter of his. If you've ever read Steven Gerrard's biography, you'd know that obviously Alex is a big supporter and, does back her husband, 100%. So, I think there will be, long run, no problems if Gerrard does say that he does want this opportunity again to come back to Rangers and manage the club. But it's interesting, isn't it, that this could be a stumbling block over him coming back. But certainly exciting news over the assistants as well. Good news. We'll obviously look into it a bit more, bring you some more news in another video. Thank you for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation, guys. Just wanted to bring you that update. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the content, please like, comment, share and subscribe. And remember always, we are the people.